So replacing the drive shaft, first thing I'm going to do is going to take the whole exhaust pipe off. It's kind of in our way. I'm going to take it off at the donut gasket right here. And then I'm going to just pop it out of all these like little support holders all the way back and then leave it in a one giant long chunk. Once I get it unattached here, it's literally just these rubber things holding it in, so I'll be able to pop those out and leave it all together. So here's that whole chunk of exhaust out then. Having that out easily exposes this to be taken off. There's 6 bolts, 3 on each side. And then that will basically allow us to actually drop this whole thing out nice and easily. So if you have the exhaust pipe out of the way, that pretty much opens everything up here. So to take the drive shaft out of your car, and you can see why we're doing this. We're going to have to mess with that, figure something out. Also, this is the piece we already replaced. But to take it out, there's this hanger in the middle, the support in the middle. It's just shoved into the transmission. I'm not sure if there's not a clip or anything holding it in there on this model. I don't know about other Subaru models or other cars. However, 2006 Forester, it slides in and slides out of the transmission back there. There's this here, and then it connects to the rear differential back here. 4 bolts. There's 4 bolts. 2 on the 2 will usually be showing, and then to get to the other ones, you have to actually like spin the drive shaft. We're not off the ground, so we're gonna have to roll it forward. However, if you put it in neutral, you can just go ahead and spin this with the wheels. So these will have to be loosened. The middle support, these 2 bolts out, and then it'll just slide out of there. One extra thing we have to do, if you want to disconnect it in the middle, there is a bolt right in there. That bolt unscrews. I think it's a 22 millimeter, and it is a huge pain in the ass to do. You're going to need a closed end with some teeth because there's not a lot of room to turn. So something like this. I think it's a 22 millimeter though. And it's easier if you just take the drive shaft out and do it. But you can do it with the drive shaft still in the car. Another thing that's probably going to be in your way is this is going to be hanging up right here. It's going to be covering this, and it's going to be covering where these are. So you're going to have to take this plate off too, and it's just like 6 bolts holding that over this. So here's the drive shaft. We're going to put the same one back in. We just needed to replace this part here, that middle support. So this end's going to go back in the transmission, this end's going to go right up in the middle, and then this will connect to the rear differential. I personally find it easiest to shove it into the transmission first. I got a bolt started here, and then I'll go ahead and swing the end up into the rear diff from there. So I got the first 2 bolts on the bottom here. To get the rest of them, the drive shaft actually needs to turn. So if you have the car jacked up, you can just go ahead and put it in neutral and spin it, and the wheels will spin with it. However, if the car is on the ground, you'll have to just roll it forward. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do, and then we'll just get those last 2.